What's up, guys? Welcome back to Serving with Robert's Tuesday Tip. So, I had a guy send me a file. He had brought a CSV file in and overwrote a bunch of points. So, it wasn't intentional. And he panicked. He called me. He's like, man, what do I do? And I'm like, well, this is not an easy fix because, unfortunately, there's not an undo button in Trimble Access. And by the way, Trimble, if you're listening, an undo button in Trimble Access might be a good idea for this situation. So anyways, what we are going to do is we're going to look at how to import the points correctly, and we're going to learn how to fix this problem. So, first things first. Okay, so what we got is a bunch of points that were brought in here. A little over 100 points that were brought in that were overwritten. They calced up some points, wasn't paying attention to point numbers, and brought them in. So there's a couple different ways to do this. If we go in and look under the job, and we go to import, you're going to see down here in the lower left-hand corner, it says duplicate point actions. What that means is if you bring in point number 500 and you already have a point number 500, what do you want it to do? For you guys that are used to AutoCAD, you know that there's a feature in there that does pretty much the same thing, right? I can either overwrite my points, I can tell it to renumber, I can tell it to do whatever. In here, you've got overwrite, store another, and ignore. So I personally probably would like it better if in the situation of what he did, I'd rather have ignore. I don't think I'd even want store another, and I dang sure wouldn't want overwrite for what he did. Because what happened is they went out and got a bunch of shots, they calced up some points, they uploaded them into the data collector, not understanding what was going on with the point numbers and overwriting, and they overwrote a bunch of points that they shot the day before. So there you can imagine panic mode, right? Because now they're looking like they've got to go back and reshoot these. So he called me up and we looked at the file, and I told him, I said, I was pretty sure I could fix it for him. So I told him to send it to me. I fixed it. I exported the points and sent it back to him. So I actually fixed it in Business Center. I'm going to show you how to fix it here in the data collector, and then I'm going to show you an easier way to do it in Business Center. But I'm going to tell you, if you bring these in and overwrite these points, and then you have to go do what I'm fixing to show you, that's your punishment for not paying attention when you overwrote the points. You can whine, you can cry, you can do whatever, that there's not an easier way to do it. But pay attention to what you're doing and you won't have this problem. So this is like the most painful way to fix this that I can think of. Okay? So if we were bringing points in, we would go up here to file name. We would go locate the file, whether it's a jump drive or if you've got it, you brought it in from an email or something like that. Okay, so here's where you go find the file and you bring it in. This probably defaults to overwrite. I probably would have it on ignore and rather the points not come in here as to overwrite something that I shot the day before. FYI. I wish there was a renumber in here. That would probably, to me, make a little bit more sense. But Trimble, we need a renumber in here. So that's how you bring it in. So I've already got this file brought in. So I'm going to show you. Here is the file. This is the map. So let me show you what happened. We go into Point Manager and look. You can see all these turned angles in here. If we scroll down to point number 22222. I think I might have just passed it. Let me go back up. Yeah, there they are. That mouse is moving faster. Okay. 1039 through 1157 were the point numbers that I found that they had gotten overwritten. So if we look, let's look at 999 here. You can see there's a coordinate. That was probably a CSV file. Let's go to the details and look. Yes, that point came from a CSV file. Okay, if we look down here and we click on this point, and we go to details, source file, CSV. Okay? So what that's telling me is that that point was brought in by a CSV file. If I click on 1039, I go to details. You can see I've got my standard errors and everything. Everything is right here, right? So it's giving me my northing and easting, but it's also giving me my standard errors. So if I go back, that tells me that that's the good point. This little icon right here also tells me that's a good point. That means it was a turned angle. So that means this point is the bad point. This point is the CSV point. You'll notice that this point is now, it's kind of a hierarchy of points, right? So if you look, 1039 is now this. So this is the point that got overwritten. This is was the good coordinate, the turned angle, the one he wanted to keep. This is what he imported in. So there again, if I go look at this, it's going to say CSV. Okay? So that means that he brought this file in and that overrode the points. You with me? So we got to get rid of this point. This point's got to go. How do you get rid of that point without getting rid of everything else? Well, I can go into details, and right here I can say delete, and I can say accept. So now 1039 is right there. There's my deleted point. Now then, if you had to do 100 points this same way, you would really wish that you hadn't had that selected as overwrite, and instead of talking to your buddy sitting next to you, you'll be wishing that you had went ahead and pulled down and said ignore or something like that. Okay? Yeah. So, best thing to do is don't overwrite the points. I know I sound like a broken record. Don't overwrite the points. This is one way to do this. To go through here, each and individual point. If I was out in the field, I may not have a choice. If something got overwritten that was important to me that day out in the field, I may have to sit here and go through all these points and do this very same thing. Okay? But here's what we're going to do. I've got this job right here. I'm going to bring it in. And this is the original job, I believe. Let's bring this in, take a look at it. Nope, I'm not going to look at that, but we are going to look at, because you're going to see we got a whole bunch of errors in here. Look at that. Remember I told you that, what was it, 1039? 1039 through, I told you he wrote down to 1157. Looky there. Every one of those has got a flag. If I open up these points over here and look, and I go down over here on the left hand side, and I scroll down, my finger's getting tired. If I scroll down to 1039, well, okay, 1039. See how they're all red? Means we have an issue. There's a problem. So, how do we fix it? Okay, so 1039 right there, 1039 right here. So if we go and look at 1039, you're going to see there's a grid coordinate. That is the file that was brought in through the CSV. So I delete that, and I'm going to hit F4 to recompute. You're going to watch 1039 now just turn black instead of red, and you're going to notice it disappeared from here. So basically you've got to go through each one of these and delete them, and delete that grid point. It is much easier to sit here on the computer and do it this way than it is to sit there and do it in Data Collector. Just saying. So if I hit F4 to recompute, you're going to see all those points disappear over here, and it's correct over there. And I also noticed that he had apparently overridden these points as well. See there? So those have to be fixed as well. So that's how you fix this problem of imported points and overwriting points. Don't overwrite points unless you know what you're overwriting, right? So if I knew that point number 1000 through 1100 were CSV points that needed to be adjusted, recalculated. What was in my data collector was wrong. I need to put the correct ones in there. By all means, overwrite. I totally get that. But do not overwrite points that that you shot the day before. That would be a very, very bad idea. Just saying. Okay. Oh, that's your Tuesday tip for this week. I've got some more stuff planned. I've got some good sync stuff that I'm working on where we can synchronize some data without having to use Trimble Connect. So I've got that coming up. Also, I got this the other day, TSE5. You guys been watching my Instagram and my Facebook and even LinkedIn. You probably saw some pictures I took of that data collector. So I am fixing to do a review on that thing. So that's coming up. I am working on a podcast. Got a guy, the floodplain manager for Little Rock, Pulaski County, Arkansas, John Burton, who is super sharp, and we're going to be doing a podcast with him and with Colt Ratliff, a friend of mine, another surveyor. So a lot of good things coming up. Whew, boy, howdy. I feel like I got 4 jobs, all of them full time. So, guys, I hope this helped out. As always, please like and subscribe. You guys are awesome. Numbers are getting up there. Got some t-shirts I'm working on. Going to be doing some giveaways. You guys keep a watch out for that. But as always, God bless. Love you guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.